I just wanted to start the video by just saying this isn't some kind of hate train kind of thing. I don't care for the whole Bioware sucks, yada yada. That's kind of useless to do. I don't feel like that benefits anybody, to be honest with you. I also don't think we should judge anything based off of what we've seen so far. I mean, the cinematic trailer did suck. Kind of just had like a D&D trailer kind of vibe to it, and I don't know what they were thinking, but the truth is there are people out there that don't think it was bad, and I think those people are more in tune with the Bioware community than most of us older fans are, and that's something we'll get into in a second. As somebody that has been involved with the Dragon Age fan base in a way since 2009, like I've been Origins is my favorite, I think we can all say, if you also played Origins first, that not only the community but the tone and overall quality of the Dragon Age games has changed a lot since then, and it's kind of weird that like people are waiting till just now to be like, oh, it's not Origins. Like, I don't know anybody that had played the other Dragon Age games that expected it to be like Origins. And I also want to say I'm not necessarily making this video because of the trailer that came out. Like I said, the cinematic trailer was pretty bad. I honestly kind of liked the gameplay trailer. I didn't like it, but it was better than I expected after the last two games. So I just wanted to make this video because it's an opinion I've had for a while and I don't see other people ever mention it. I don't know why, but I figured I'd just shoot it out there. Okay. I think anybody can agree that everything's changed since Origins. Like the franchise has not been what Origins had set up since right after Origins even, and that's fine, right? You can decide for yourself if you know what you want to do with your story and stuff. It does suck that the story that most of us, or I say us, just myself, the story that I got into back with Origins was kind of just the first part of a story that goes into other games that I don't like, which kind of sucks to just be strung along. But I don't think it's wrong. You don't have to make a game the way I like it. It's very apparent that the team behind Bioware has dramatically changed, and with them their own community and storytelling style. Origins felt more dark because it was obviously inspired by like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, right? And it feels like we went from a community of people that liked the gritty, bloody and realistic like choices and stuff to like a community that loves when they see like a dwarf be gay. If that makes sense. And again, that's fine, but it's not what I got into Origins for. I got into Origins for the writing and the player choices and the consequences that were crazy. You could literally trade like a kid's life just to fuck a demon. Like, it's stupid shit, obviously, but Origins was always like progressive, right? It was never like there were gay people in Origins. It's fine. There's just obviously a change in the way it's done. What helped me kind of finally realize the difference in opinion that the community has as a whole was the anime that we got. Everybody remembers it. It was on Netflix. I personally hated it. I thought the writing was bad. None of the characters were decent, besides maybe the mage that betrays the group in it, and the main character is kind of interesting. So I do hope they come along in the next game, but everybody else just sucked. I don't know what happened, but when I went to check the community, like Reddits, and which I mean, you know, but I went to check it and everybody was like saying it was so good, and they were like, wow, I loved how the dwarf and the other guy were romances, and I liked the quirky female Canary. It was just a very drastic difference in opinion, and I think kind of helped me realize that I'm just not necessarily a part of the core audience anymore, and I think a lot of other people probably should know this too. They just aren't what Bioware is going for. I just think the main reason this issue is happening now is because Bioware also doesn't know its audience. Like, the fact that the current fan base liked it is good. I think that's honestly a good thing for Dragon Age, right? Like, I liked Edge Runners and Arcane, and I love Cyberpunk and League, so that's great for me. And the Dragon Age community obviously liked their anime. I think that's awesome for them. But the problem is that that community isn't what BioWare is making their games for, it seems like, and I don't know why. Like, their books, like To Venture Nights, if you haven't read it, the books are usually pretty good from the series, and it captures a more darker tone that I think has been missing since Origins, and I really hope to see more of it. Like, the only time I felt this way that I do in To Venture Nights in Inquisition was when in the political, whenever you're in Orlais, right? So it had this like darker tone, but their social media and like any cinematics obviously have like this higher pitch and more of a pull towards the other spectrum of fans that are there for the progressiveness and like inclusiveness, or whatever the word is. But then you have the gameplay and art style obviously being marketed towards like the popular choice, and why aren't they making it for a single fan base? Make it either for your core fan base or make it for the old older fan base from Origins, or choose the popular? Why are you going for so many different core audience groups? Like, why? The game, it's worrying because it doesn't seem like they even know what the target audience for the game is. Like, Origins was a tactical RPG. You could pause combat, you controlled every party member, and you could being a mage was sick. And it let you basically roleplay however you wanted because you could switch to another class to play the game. So it was like, just play the character you want for roleplay reasons. But now they got rid of switching over to other companions. So, and they limited the party banter because they only have 2 available companions now. And I don't know why you would make that change unless it was purely because you don't like the way Inquisition was doing. And the only reason I can see them making this change is because another issue with the Dragon Age series, they never had an identity. Every single game switched its combat style a little bit, but this game has been 10 years in the making and has dramatically changed from a Dragon Age game to like a Mass Effect Dragon Age hybrid. So they limited the party size to 2 like Mass Effect. They added the tactical wheel from Mass Effect, and the biggest concern so far, I don't know if they'll show it in a PC setup, maybe it's different, but so far they only show like 3 hotkeys for combat. What in the nobody could think that's good. Even like, especially if you play a mage, which I usually do in these games besides Origins. What were you thinking? I've got to be wrong, and I'm hoping this is just like a console thing with a trigger that will show the next slide of them, and we'll see like a full hotbar of abilities, because otherwise I don't see this combat being good for anybody. So yeah, I mean, that's what's really worrying about the game, is that I don't think they have a core audience that this is going for. They've made changes that no Dragon Age fan would say was smart. Again, we don't know until we play the game. Maybe it's good, but from what we've seen, the combat looks really bad because they only showed us level 1. That was a bad idea. And it doesn't help that Bioware has had a reputation of bad releases over the last 10 years. I mean, Andromeda was pretty boring in terms of writing, but they were like, don't worry, the main writer's on Anthem. So we waited for Anthem. That was somehow worse, and that was the main writers. And now you've got Bioware losing so much staff. Most of the writers from the older games, everybody's gone from the older games. I don't see how anybody could possibly be like, oh yeah, I'm holding out hope. Like, how? There's nothing to hope for. They've changed everything from the older games. The only thing we have to go off of is just the lore from the older games, really, and the setup from Inquisition. We don't have any reassurances that this is going to be decent. And we all know about the development issues behind the scenes. I mean, this was originally a multiplayer game that got scrapped down and then changed back into a single player game. And it's obvious the art style was for the multiplayer. You can't tell me this is their own unique art style, okay? Okay, I'm getting a little heated because it's hard not to. I love the Origins and I don't like the way it went, but I understand that some people do, so there's no point in being mad about that. I have other games, right? Baldur's Gate 3 was sick. I do still like Dragon Age. I have liked every game despite their differences. I like all the books I've read, all the comics. The movie was bad, and the anime was really bad, but and the trailer was bad, but the gameplay they've shown, despite looking kind of boring, it was level 1, and Mass Effect was awesome. I love the Mass Effect games, so there's still a lot of potential here for me to enjoy the game. I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna play it. I mean, I have to. I've been involved with the series this long. I've got to at least see how it ends, right? But also, I think the fact that the keep is gone, that's also another bad thing. I don't know what choices are gonna carry over. It's kind of really upsetting to hear that not everything will, so I'm wondering if they'll even bother with stuff past Inquisition, which I doubt. But yeah, the gameplay reveal actually felt really promising from what we saw. I expected a lot worse, which is on me, I guess, but as somebody that has been into the games and had no hopes, I think what we're looking at seems pretty good so far. Wasn't the best, right? But no one expected the best, okay? The dialogue seemed decent enough. The characters felt like the characters from the old games. I like that Harding's a companion now. That's awesome. She'll be everybody's favorite. I did have issues with like the demon designs, but to be fair, never mind, because those have kind of just been bad since Origins. I don't know. They've all kind of gotten more cartoonish over the years. I just don't like the purple. I like Tevinter. That it looks awesome, exactly how we all pictured it, but I mean, the endless purple is just crazy. They've got to do something about that, I hope. Look, despite which spectrum of the fan base you're on, the Origins hardcore players that are really upset, or the Inquisition players that just want to romance a Qunari, I think we all agree we want the game to be good, right? We all want a conclusion to something we've been waiting for since, well, I'm assuming most Dragon Age fans came in at 2014. Just, you know, let's try not to belittle each other just because we have different opinions about this stuff. I don't know. People take this shit way too seriously. It is just a video game at the end of the day. Oh, and you know, hopefully we don't get betrayed by the Necromancer. We kind of always get betrayed by a mage. It's gonna happen. Maybe it'll be Solus again. Who f***ing knows? Did you guys see the pet griffin? That's pretty f***ing cool. No one's talking about that because everybody's so mad about the trailer design. I think seeing a pet griffin, that's huge, right? By warding one of those in Origins. I'm excited for that, at least. Which faction is everybody going, by the way? Because we're all playing it. We're watching these videos. We're gonna play the game. I think I'm gonna go Grey Wardens just because I'm an Origins guy. It's hard not to go for the Wardens, but they all sound cool. I kind of wish we could have, you know, gotten a little bit more, but it's going to depend if the origin stories are good or if they're just kind of there like Baldur's Gate, you know what I mean? We'll find out though, won't we? All right, I'm just talking. I got other stuff to do, so have fun maybe with the game. I hope it's good. Yo, if you liked the video, or honestly, even if you didn't, it'd be cool if you liked it. Also, if you want more videos like this in the future, you can subscribe down below. All right, well, I should go.